So that is secure attachment, anxious, ambivalent, insecure attachment, anxious, avoidant, insecure attachment. So a securely attached child is one who exhibits the following attachment behaviors. And I encourage you to kind of watch babies from now on, especially with their parents. So this securely attached child will explore environments with enthusiasm, walk about, crawl about, climb on things, right? Checks back with the secure base mother, father, or primary caregiver, engages with strangers when mother is nearby, cries when mother leaves the room, and happily reunites when mother returns. You kind of see that dynamic in the adult marriage, adult long-term relationship when there's infidelity and there isn't a fair partner, and then when the mate returns to the home, there is a reuniting with each other. Develops a sense of security that allows the child to cope with problems and adapt well to unfamiliar situations. Parents are responsive to securely attached infants and sensitive to infants' needs. And then a securely attached child is comfortable and confident. You know, it's funny how when you look at people today, and they talk about their childhood, and while they are talking, you're thinking about your toxic childhood, and you just wonder why they are like they are. They have some sort of comfort, confidence, security in themselves. I'm not saying they don't always have problems, but I'm saying it's kind of different in the way that they were brought up, and we might call it privileged if we place our observation of that person on a race level. But it also could be if it was just in an all-race home and you see that person as an adult and they just seem to have some sort of security. They talk about their relationships with their mother or their father as being really a good relationship, and then you compare or contrast it with the relationship you had with your mother and father, and it was nothing like that. And so I think that second to the last bullet point, parents are responsive to securely attached infants and sensitive to infants' needs. That is something that goes with that infant to childhood to adolescent to young adulthood to adulthood, middle, that parent is responsive to their child in all areas of their life. And I think that is one of the contributing factors to why we might have conflict-based relationships with others that might lead to that person sort of marrying another person. So then an anxious ambivalent child is insecurely attached. The child exhibits the following attachment behaviors. So the child will express distress when strangers are nearby and when they are in unfamiliar settings, whether the parent or caregiver is nearby or not. The child will, an anxious, ambivalent child will exhibit extreme anxiety and distress when the parent departs and resists reuniting when the parent returns. And then the parent responds to the child on his or her schedule rather than on the schedule of the infant. So the bolded part, the child exhibits anxiety and distress when the parent departs and then resists reuniting when the parent returns. You can see that in adult relationships. There doesn't necessarily have to be infidelity on both sides or on either side. Sometimes there could be just a fight and the person leaves the home for a walk and then comes back home and he or she wants to reunite, but the other partner refuses to reunite. Okay, they might be two people who come from an anxious ambivalent environment. And then also key is when the parent responds. And you'll see that also in adult relationships, right? Adult relationships you have with your partner, adult relationships you have with your friends, adult relationships you have in other areas, that your needs are not responded to. And if they are only responded to on that person's schedule. Even though, in contrast, when that person has a problem, you tend to respond to their needs quickly. And it might be something that you picked up as a strategy as a child, that when your mother yelled or you felt like you walked on eggshells, you had to respond. You had to keep your mouth closed as a way of responding as well. So it's that parent response. Then the anxious avoidant child is insecurely attached. The child exhibits the following attachment behavior. So shows little behavior indicating interest in the adults in the room, regardless of the type of adult. Avoids or ignores parents and primary caregivers, whether they are strangers or not. Strangers are not treated any differently than mothers or primary caregivers. Shows little emotional response or lacks affect, and they don't seem to believe that adults in their lives will respond to their signals of distress. These children come to believe that communication of their needs makes no difference at all, and that is me. I feel like I am the anxious avoidant child. I did not grow up in a secure home, and I might be anxious ambivalent in some ways, but I can definitely say that I don't believe communication of my needs will make a difference when it comes to my relationship with family, my relationship sort of with friends, with my parents. I don't feel that way. And it is actually true, and it has actually, manifested itself in a sense that the needs of a sibling will take a greater priority over the needs that I have in the moment. I'm the kind of person that parents treat certain children and leave them off to themselves out of a misinterpretation or misunderstanding that child does not need that parent. The good girl or the good boy, they need responses. They need responses. They are more likely to get into more mess with other people in other situations than the so-called fast child, right? The one that is kind of unruly. And so in all respects, however, all children need a responsive parent.